Dr. Somoni is my name. I'm a pharmacist and an entrepreneur. I'm also a community leader. Success to me really has to come from how you define it. Yeah. For me, I've gone round and come to the point of realization, yes, success has to be when you are aligned to what your spirit was created for. And how I measure that is, of course, when you have in your peace in your spirit and the things that you do, be it a business, be it serving, you know, that to me is how I am able to measure that I'm on the right path towards success. And of course, the other area of measuring success, and this one I found to be very impactful, is when you are able to look back and say you have people you've been able to grow, some of them even doing far much better and greater things that you could ever do. So sacrifices, things I've had to give up is really it comes down to people pleasing. Yeah. So you find I no longer find my identity around hanging out in groups that have no purpose. So I have to find out, what is this for? What are we in need for? If you're entering a business, if I hear the only conversation is, you know, bottom line, how much are we making? There's no conversation of how are we helping? What are we solving? You know, I've had to move, and I mean that has really thinned down my relationships to the point where I'm now interacting with people who have a burden to carry, and the burden usually is things solving in the things in the community, making things right, and yeah, just being burdened by that. So yes, I've had to sacrifice quite a bit, and mostly it just comes to relationships, because it's about relationships. For you to be on a journey is, who are you going on the journey with? For me, I've had to shed down, I mean, I'm a very social person, so you find I've had to cut down on those engagements and be more focused, laser focused on who I engage with. Yeah, so that's an interesting question. For me, I'll answer it this way. I came to realize I was living the world's definition of success, because every time I achieve something, there's still an emptiness. Yeah. So, you know, you climb a mountain, or you define a mountain, you climb it, you reach the top, you find, but when you interrogate deeply, I found that I was just seeking sort of identity or affirmation in those things that I was doing. So if it's getting accolades, getting titles, getting money, you know, you chase them, but once you get them, then you find, why am I still not, you know, still happy, or why am I still not satisfied with what I've gotten? Yeah. And you know, you reach a point you can actually say, can I give it all up and go chase the thing that it really defines what success is. And that's why I'm saying it starts by defining what success is. So once you define success, you'll actually realize all these things you've been chasing. I've been chasing a title, I've been chasing an election, all those things were just things that I was using to hide or pacify me from the fact that I am not chasing my purpose. You know, because chasing your purpose is very uncomfortable, you are stretched, you know. These are things just to chase, and you reach the top, and you know, people clap for you, you fit in, but you know, you fit in with the world. You're out of this world, you're in a different kingdom space. You're coming here to represent the kingdom you're meant to, you've been sent from. So it's like you're an ambassador of that space, yeah. You know, like the way the US embassy in Kenya is US. So you are meant to be influencing the culture around you to be the one that you've been sent from. And it's very countercultural, you know, you'll do things that are not the right in the face of the world, but you know, by God it's the right thing. And with time, actually what you find is you're able to raise banners and pillars, and people are encouraged by those. So who has been influential for me, I'd say who has been influential for me is, I'd say I pick someone like Paul from the Bible, because he lives offensively faith. Why I choose him? Because it's, you know, you have to get a target that is beyond you. Yeah, for me it resonates with me because it's someone who first was he changed, and God accepted him, and he took an assignment. So what it encourages me is, even if I was on the wrong path, now I change and I'm checking a new path. Even when people are asking me, but aren't you the same one who used to do it this way? But I say no. Yes, I'm the same one who was doing those things, but I did not know. Now that I know, I'm not comfortable with that. Yeah. If I was to go back and give advice to myself, I don't know if I would have taken it anyway, because sometimes maybe the journey was meant to be mine. If I was to go back, and I would have, what I would have done differently was work under someone, yeah, receive some coaching and mentorship, because what I found is I've wasted time, I've wasted resources, and still coming to the realization, you know what, tapping out and saying, you know what, there's a higher power and a higher authority that I need to submit to in my quest for success. So that's because success is when your spirit is aligned with your purpose. Yeah, and your purpose is defined in the Spirit of God. Yeah, so getting that axis. Yeah, if I would have had someone holding me, and what I'm doing differently right now is I'm working with people. So I get young men, I get peers. Yeah, we discuss, we move on. What it helps me is helping with the discipline, accountability, and I'm able to set stretch goals for myself to grow in faith and also in purpose. So even as you share, you know, you get to learn and you get to crystallize your thoughts into something that you can actually stand for. You know, they say usually if you're not convinced yourself by something, you can't convince others, or you can't even be disciplined enough to follow what it is that you're meant to follow. Yeah. For me, it's important because first, I have 3 children. I have 2 daughters and a son. It's important for us to define what success is, yeah, so that even for them, as they're coming in, they're able to see, because as we define it, we also get to live in the pursuit of what success is, the right success. Then they have models that they can follow. So for me, it's I cannot actually say it's almost like what I'm going through is a trial, and so that my children can have a vision, tangible, and they can actually say, this is where dad came from, this is where dad is going. So even me, I can be challenged, because that's what growing up I didn't have models of. So what you're doing is right now with this conversation is raising models, challenging, critiquing, reviewing, and saying, okay, and encouraging and affirming whether we're on the right path. So for me, it's really important to have that conversation right now as we're having it, because who will marry our children, and who will our children marry will come out of, you know, us shaping the space. Yeah, and even who will they do business with? Yeah, what sort of problems will they be solving? We don't want to be solving the same problems of our forefathers, of poverty, you know, housing, you know, poor health, you know, all those things. We want new challenges, innovations. Yeah, and pushing the envelope of discovery. Dr. Louis Somoni is my name. I'm a pharmacist and the president of the Pharmaceutical Society of Kenya, and I will be attending UNSTUCK 2018.